In this video segment, we're going to look at the power searches in NMONESOURCE.COM. The power searches can be found right here, and we're going to take a look at both of them briefly and then compare the two. One reason you might turn to a power search is to search in one of the many databases on this site that aren't mentioned by name here on the start page. For example, maybe you want to search the Attorney General opinions or the session laws. Maybe you're looking for federal rules or want to search through historical versions of the NMSA. This is the natural language search. Over here on the right, we have a list of all of the databases on this site. And you can select which database or databases that you want to search. This is a Boolean search. Over here on the right-hand side, we have the same thing. Click to select the database that you want to search. So you can use either one of these power searches to search any of the databases on this site. But a second reason you might turn to a power search is to search the entire site altogether. Maybe you don't know what database your document is in, or maybe you're just interested in any document related to your subject. You can use either power search to search the entire site all at once. Now I could click on every checkbox to do this, but let me teach you a quick shortcut. If you don't select anything over here, the search form actually defaults to search all databases. Let me show you. I am typing vehicle homicide, and I'm not going to select a database over here to search. When I click search, I get over 2,000 results. And look here at the table of contents. These numbers show how the documents, the hits, are distributed throughout the entire site. This time I'm going to select a database to search, and let's select the United States Supreme Court decisions. Now I only have 29 results, and they're all located in the U.S. Supreme Court database. The Boolean search works the same way. If I leave this area alone, the form will default to search all databases. A third reason you might use a power search is to gain more control over your searches. Maybe you need more complexity or flexibility than what the other search forms have to offer. If you're the type that loves to learn and use search syntax that includes operators or connectors, then you'll be drawn to the Boolean search. Here you see a battery of search operators that are available for you to use, from the standard Boolean and, or, not, to exact match phrase searching, wildcard searching, proximity searching, which means finding words near each other, and you can turn word stemming or synonym searching on or off for specific words in your search. We can delve into more details and more examples in a subsequent video, but for now, let me give you just one example. I'm going to use the $sign to do a synonym search on the word homicide. And I'm also going to look at just the federal decisions in the District of New Mexico. Alright, let's take a look. Okay, it looks like it's picking up the word death as a synonym for homicide. Now I can look at additional hits within this same document by clicking right here, Next Hit, which moves me to the next match within the same document. There's death again, death, murder, and of course homicide. I can also use this button right here, Next Doc, to move to the next document in the results window. Execution. Completely out of context here, but you get the idea. Murder, execution, and so on. So if you like the power that these search operators give you, but you're not particularly enthused about learning syntax, then the natural language search might suit you better. The natural language search guides you through similar features without requiring you to learn the search operators. Search for documents containing all these words. This is the equivalent of a Boolean AND. Not containing any of these words, the Boolean NOT. And containing one or more of these words. Oops. This is the Boolean OR. Here we have a phrase search, proximity search, and here you can turn on and off stem searching and synonym searching, which would apply to all of the terms in your search, all of the words. So why in the world would I bother with the Boolean search form if I can use the natural language search? Well, truly, if this form gives you everything you need, you might never touch the Boolean search form. But it's also conceivable that if you are into complex searches, you might discover that this form is limiting. In which case, I would recommend you turn to the Boolean search form for the most power and flexibility. And one final plug for this search form, the Boolean search. As you gain a comfort level with these search operators, you will discover that they can actually be used in many of the fields in other search forms, particularly in the targeted searches. It's very useful to know this. And while we're on the subject of targeted searches, let me just point out that in both the Boolean search and in the natural language search, when you look over here at the database selection box, you will see that for each database for which a customized targeted search form has been created, there is a link right here to its targeted search form. Okay, now we're not quite done. One more significant point. Before I have you flocking away from the natural language search, let me point out one of its unique strengths. The natural language search is a relevance ranked search. In fact, it is the only relevance ranked search on this entire website. So what do we mean by a relevance ranked search? Well, first of all, instead of strict Boolean logic, there is some fuzzy logic employed to determine whether or not a document is a viable candidate for the results list. Algorithms are used to calculate what are called degrees of truth to match documents with your query. In other words, you may get results that aren't exactly what you asked for, but come close. And the closer they come, the higher they are ranked in the results list. And the farther down they are on the results list, the more they are just clutter, which is why we limit the results in this form to the top 100 hits. We've all experienced this with search engines on the web. You might type, say, 7 words into a Google search, And if Google can't find an exact match, you will still get documents that sort of match. Maybe 4 or 5 words are the same, or 2 or 3, until you're down to looking at completely irrelevant documents. Also, for the documents that do match your search criteria, there are sophisticated algorithms put in play to rank those among themselves. Criteria such as the frequency of your search terms within a document, or the density of the hits in your document. Density meaning how many matches are found in relation to the overall size of the document. The end result being that your results list is weighted or ranked with the most relevant documents on top. I'm going to show you a quick example, but before I do, let me answer one question that I'm sure some of you are asking right about now. If the results are ranked by relevance, and this is the only relevance ranked search on the site, then what about all the other search forms? How or in what order are their results displayed? It's a good question. All of the other searches on this site display results in database order, or in other words, table of contents order. Let me show you. So going back to the Boolean search, and we're going to go back to the vehicle homicide search. We're going to search all of the databases. Notice that the results follow the same order that they appear over here in the table of contents, starting with the New Mexico Constitution, the statutes, the court rules, the appellate reports, and so on. But if I use the natural language search, we're going to conduct the same search in all the databases. And notice that the order is different. We're actually starting with some historical NMSA. And then look right here, we have right in the middle Court of Appeals case from 1980. Let's take a look at some more here. Here we have some court rules, a 1996 Supreme Court decision. And oh look, right here is an unreported decision. So you get the results in a different order, a relevance ranked order with a relevance rank search. So just to conclude and to summarize, you can use the power searches to search any database or to search all databases. If you want your results ranked by relevance, or if you want a hand in crafting your search operations, then use the natural language search. If you want strict results, or if you want the most power and flexibility with your searching, then use the Boolean search. And this concludes our segment on power searches.